we love wireless devices. They're so easy to install, and it's just the perfect combination of solution when we're talking about alarm system. But there is one thing to keep in consideration, and this is true when we're talking about the Ajax Jeweller device, so their wireless solution. It's that battery life is not infinite, so you need to replace the batteries from time to time. And this is true because you have the communication that happens with the hub, you have the temperature where they are installed, so a lot of things can affect the battery life. If you don't know about how the battery life for your Ajax device works, you can actually see one of our videos where we did a full review on how to calculate the battery life of your devices. But today, we will focus on how to replace the batteries from your devices, because if you have Ajax Systems, so their jeweler application, this is something that will happen. It can take 7 years, it can take 1 year, but you will have to replace the batteries. So we'll show you the right tool to use. So as soon as you receive this notification on your device that there's only 10% battery left in your device, you will know what to do. So the most popular devices are on the table. We have a long video on the way. Let's get to it. So before we start dismantling everything on the table, the tools you need. So right now we're using 3 different tools. So we use the Philips one for some devices, and we use a Philips Zero from other devices. So we will have a list below to understand which devices require which bit, to be able to understand how to clearly remove the screws. Also using a 4 flat bit, and this is to remove the battery. So if you don't want to get your hands on the battery, you can use a 4 bit, so a 4 flat bit to remove it. And we also have this small disc. So this is to actually remove smaller devices, to penetrate in the little crack, to being able to open it without damaging the product itself. So rather than using a flat like this one, you use plastic, which makes it easier. As for the batteries, we'll also have a list below, but again, it's better to have them before. So it's AA batteries, AAA batteries, you have CR123A batteries, and you have also flat batteries for the button device and the SpaceControl. So let's start with these sensors, because you do not require any tool to open them. So I'm talking about the DoorProtect, DoorProtect Plus, and the GlassProtect. So they are all similar in terms of build, so they use also the same battery. First off, for all these devices, you have a smart bracket behind that you just need to slide down to being able to remove it. So you remove the smart bracket, and from there, you have this little trigger on top that you need to push up to being able to remove the front part of the device. So when you push this thing right here, you push it up, and then on the side, you can actually remove the front part of your device. So right there, you heard a click, so you're able to remove this, and now you have access to the battery of the device. So on this one, as we can see, we have the battery here. Now you can use the flat screwdriver to remove the battery, as I'm gonna show you now. So you just push, tilt, remove the battery, change it up, put it back, and you are done. And now how to actually close it back. So make sure you have the right side up, so following the smart bracket that you removed before, that goes up with the light of the device itself. So again, like this. And then all you need to do is push it back, so it's as easy as you did it to install it. And now you're ready to go for your sensors. So again, DoorProtect, DoorProtect Plus, and the GlassProtect. Now, with the button and the SpaceControl, you only need the small disc I presented earlier. So with the round corners, to being able to enter the crack all around the product itself. So you slide it in and you're able to flip it open. As you can see on the button right here, so we'll try to zoom in on this part right here. You have a small enclosure where you're able to actually slide it in to make it easier for you to remove this part. So you take your flat corner, you insert it here, and you're able to slide it all the way up and remove the enclosure of the button. So you can do the full round so you're sure that it's unlocked, and you have it here. So now that it is open, I can hear you say there's no batteries in there, but it's actually behind the plate that you have here. So I'm gonna use this small clip right there so we're able to remove this without getting it dirty. So you flip it over, and here you have the battery that you can remove. So you just again push it out, and you have the 3-volt battery that is inside right there. So push it out, all out, remove here, and you place it back in when you want to switch it, and your device is ready to go. When you want to put it back, you flip it back to where it was, so make sure you remember the right side you add it on. You put the bracket up, and you just push together and you hear a clip, and now it's back to normal. And it's a similar thing when we're talking about the SpaceControl. So again, you find the enclosure on the side, and then you use your disc right here, slide it in, do the whole circle of the device, and you can sometimes just push it a little bit up top, and it will unclip all the side of the device. So if you need to do many circles, it's okay. I have it right there, and there you have it. So similarly to the button, now I open into the other side so it reveals the battery directly, but it works exactly the same thing. So you can remove the battery by pushing it out, putting it back in, making sure it is rightly centered in the SpaceControl so it holds perfectly. And to put it back up, well, again, same thing. You just clip it like the button, you push, you hear the clip, and your SpaceControl is ready to go. Now jumping into the KeyPad Plus. So we have the KeyPad Plus in front of us, but this works exactly the same way if you have the regular keypad. So you need to turn it around. You can keep the smart bracket on. Now for this one, we actually remove it. And here we'll use the Phillips 0 to being able to remove all the screws. So we're going one by one. Always make sure your device is disconnected before doing this to avoid any problems, because again, you're putting new batteries in. So remove the screws, keep them close by, and we're not using any special tools again. These are the type of screwdrivers you can find pretty much anywhere. Here we have a small kit that honestly we bought on Amazon, and you have all the right bits for security, so whether it's alarm systems or even camera, so you can find it at a really low price, and it is easy to get. And like you can see here, well, it works with the Ajax products. So removing all the screws that we have here, and from there we'll be able to access the batteries. Now, either you can use the small disc again, or you can grip to the side here to being able to remove the keypad and access the batteries. So like so, grip it on the side, remove the plate right there, and you have the batteries right here. On the KeyPad Plus, we have 4 2A batteries. When we're talking about the keypad, yes, it's exactly the same way to open it up, but it's using 4 AAA batteries. So keep that in mind if you're using the regular keypad. Now, always look at the signage you have on your device to know which side of the battery you need to put. For example, here it's going down, here it's going up. You can use a flat head afterward to being able to push and remove the battery like so. And this way you put the new one here and your device is ready to go. And again, to close the enclosure, always remember about the side of the device. So what you can do is look at the front and look at the back, so you know it's exactly the same. You put it back in, you put your screws, and you are ready to go. Moving on to the next one. All right, now the touchscreen keypad. So staying with the keypad, this one is a little different. So when you turn it on, again, you remove the smart bracket on the back, slide it down, and you have access to the screws right there. So make sure it is turned off. I'm just gonna make sure. I think this one is the Philip one, yes. So for this one, we're gonna change the bit size. So here I use a Philip one to being able to remove the screws. So there is no rush when you do so. Keep calm and collected. you're changing the batteries, so everything will be fine afterward. Everyone should keep at home, not just for your security devices, but for pretty much everything. And one thing that is important to mention, don't use power tools when removing screws from your alarm sensor. Why? Because if you strip them, you will be in a lot of trouble. So do everything by hand when you're removing these screws. Because since they are really small, if you strip one, it becomes really hard to remove, so you're kind of stuck with the product afterward. All right, so removing this part. Similar to the other keypads, so you have small clips on the side right there that you can slide your finger in and being able to pull to remove the back of the device. So if I do this like so, you can see it pull apart, and there you have it. So for the touchscreen keypad, you have 6 batteries. They are AA batteries. Again, if we take our flat part, it will reveal for the side of the batteries you should go for. So I will do it here. So I will remove just this one. And again, always try to find these drawings. You can see it like so on the bottom. And this is how you should put the batteries, so which side you put your batteries in every time. And now how to put it back up? Well, don't use right now the smart bracket. Don't make this mistake. Use the back panel, put it as it was. So again, for the direction, you can look at the front to make sure it corresponds to the right thing here. You can put the screws back in, so on all 4 corners, and afterward you put your smart bracket. So just sliding it back in and your device is ready to go. Now we're looking at the MotionProtect Plus. It is the same thing for the MotionProtect and the CombiProtect. So again, removing the smart bracket by sliding it down. I take a Phillips one for this one to remove the screw. So here we go. Again, make sure the device is disconnected. When I say disconnected, it's not from your application, but you can just close the power button on the back of the device to make sure it's not powered up. So I remove 1. So you have 3 here. As you can see, it is turned off with the toggle right there. I like to use my small disc again to slide in the crack that was revealed from removing the screws. So you can slide it in and it will pop out like so. So now you can open and have access to the battery. So for the CombiProtect, MotionProtect, and MotionProtect Plus, it is a CR123A battery. Again, follow the code when you see it and remove it with a flat screwdriver like we're doing so. And again, super easy to do. You push and remove like so. So this way you remove the battery, you put it back in, and you're ready to go. Now we're doing the MotionCam. Again, the MotionCam, it is the same thing when we're talking about MotionCam and MotionCam PhoD, using again the Phillips one. So unscrewing the 3 screws, as you can see, it is really similar to the MotionProtect we just did. And the MotionProtect add a toggle to turn it off, but when you have the power button like this one, you just need to hold it for 3 seconds and it will turn off the device. Again, I use my small disc. I found a little crack where I can slide it in. Oh, this one actually comes off really easily. So like so. And now I have, again, for this one, 2 CR123A lithium batteries. How do we remove it? Flat screwdriver. So you find the plus sign. So this one is here. You push it out like so. And look at the code down and remove your battery and replace them. And now that you replace your batteries, well, it's the same way. So you put it back by toggling it in. So you take it, find the right side, put it back up like this, push it, and then you screw on and your MotionCam would be ready to go. Make sure you hear the clip to be able to know if it's okay. All right, now moving to the MotionCam Outdoor. Again, it is the same thing as the MotionCam Outdoor PhoD. First off, remove the smart bracket, sliding it down. And I also like to remove the cap right here. So it is plugged in this way. So all you need to do is a little jiggle, pull apart, and as you can see, it removes really easily. Now, you have 4 screws for this one. Again, it is the Phillips one to remove. So let's do it right away. And as I mentioned, if you have the power button on the back, make sure to turn off your device by pressing it for at least 3 seconds. So removing all 4 screws. Good way to not lose your screws is actually, I like to put them in the smart bracket because you have to put it back anyway. So this it's used like a small rack to put all your screws there. So it's just easier. Now, again, I use my small disc, and this is especially true when we're talking about outdoor products because they have some things to make sure there's no water that comes inside the device. So when you do it like this, as you can see here, you have this thing right there that makes it hard to remove. So using the flat circle, it makes it much easier. Now, for this device, you need 4 CR1238 3 volts lithium batteries. And again, how to remove it, like this. Find the positive part, you push, you remove, look at the graphics underneath, you put them back on. So similar to all the other devices that we've seen previously, take it, put it back on. So make sure the isolation right there is close to your device. Put the screws back on and you are ready to go. Now for the water stops, it looks intimidating, but it works the same way. So remove the bracket. So this is a safety bracket to make sure it's not disconnected. You remove this part, you remove this part too. Then you make sure that it is disconnected. So holding the button 3 seconds. And then you can remove the screws that are right here. So underneath when you remove everything. And again, we use the Phillips one for this device. All right, so now you remove all your screws. Has to go in my hands. And you can pull this apart just by pulling it like so. So removing using the legs. And now these are a little bit different. So as you can see, you have an enclosure for your batteries. So you can remove the enclosure like so. So by removing the clip using your flat and removing the batteries right here. So you can actually slide them down inside your hands. So for the WaterStop, you need 4 CR1238 3 volt lithium batteries. And again, all you need to do is follow this diagram. So you have the plus sign, the minus sign. So putting your batteries on exactly the same angle that you have here. So putting the plus sign here, and then you can close it. So like so, make it clip underneath, so making sure it is protected, and you put your clip back on. Boop. And right, screws, you put this, you can actually put it right away, because if your screws are put back, so 1, 2, 3, 4 inside, and then you are good for the WaterStop. Now we are looking at the LeaksProtect. So for this, we have to go back to the Phillips 0. These are really small screws. So again, you just remove, you turn off the power, and then you remove all 4 screws in the corner of the device, like so. Now that you remove your screws, if you want to use your flat disc, you can. If you have some nails, well, it's as easy as this. So for the LeaksProtect, you need 2 AAA batteries. And again, if you're looking for the graphic to understand where to put your batteries, you can remove one. And underneath, so right here, you have the little graphic to put them back in. And how to close it back? Well, as you removed it, so just put it like this. There is a little gel on this to keep it isolated, because since it's a LeaksProtect, there will be water on it. So you just wash your hands and it's good to go. Putting the screw back in, and you can put it back to your house. HomeSiren, similar to all the other devices, guys. This one you can actually keep the smart bracket, but again, I removed it to turn it off by clicking the power button. And now we keep the Phillips 0 to remove all the screws. So you remove this, and now you have access to the inside. So again, here for the HomeSiren, we're using two CR1238 3-volt lithium batteries. And as you know, to remove it and find the little graphic, it's very often underneath the battery. So just remove it. You see it right here. So you have the plus sign, the minus sign. So this is kind of a, yes, it's true for alarm system, but it's true for every devices. And now, as you can see, I removed it really easily. You can just put it back exactly as it was. You can go back to your installation, finish installing all the screws and making sure that the enclosure is safe and secured. We have the motion curtain detector. So for this one, it is similar to DoorProtect, where you have the smart bracket on the back, you slide it down, you have access to the power button, and you have 3 screws right here. So for this one, I need to change my bit to the Phillips 0. And now we unscrew the device. So remove all the screws, keep them close, put them in your smart bracket if you don't want to lose them. And this is another example of where you can use your flat disk, because it's not as easy to remove. So you go on the top, and then I create a little gap. So from this gap, I'm able to remove this part. And again, it is because there is some isolation on this device to make sure that nothing goes in. So I will remove it like so. And you have access to your battery. So this one is using one single CR123A for 3-volt lithium battery. So if we want to change the battery, take your screwdriver, push the battery out, so like this, and you have access to replacing your battery right there. So you put it back in, push it in, and as you can see, you can actually slide this device right here, so making sure it is aligned when you want to clip it back up, so like so, and that the silicone on the side is correct. Put your 3 screws back in, and voila, we have our wireless motion curtain ready to go. Here we have the outdoor motion detector. This is one of the easiest to remove. So using your Phillips 1, you only have 2 screws. So we put it here, start removing. I say easiest, but again, it's an outdoor device. So as we've seen so far, outdoor device have some silicone inside to keep any dust or water from entering your sensor. So I like to use my flat disc for this one too, because again, here you have some grip, but again, when you try to pull it, there is some kind of resistance. So I insert my small disc, I go on the front, and I create this gap again, which is really useful for all your outdoor devices, and then it makes it easier to remove it all the way. So I will go also on the bottom side of the device. So, okay, and maybe a little bit more on this side too. Okay, now it is ready to unclip. So in this one, you're using 2 CR123A batteries again, and similar to all the devices, we're gonna remove it. So find the plus sign, you push it out, remove the battery like so, look at the graphic underneath, then you can put the battery back in, and there you have it. Now, for outdoor devices, again, make sure your silicone is properly adjusted so when you put it back in, and that you have the right side for the device. So now I have text up, logo up, and I just push it in and making it really tight so no water comes in. So put the 2 screws in and you can go outdoor, install your device, and again, secured and safe. Now we have the DoubleDeck siren from Ajax. So this one, again, you just turn it upside down like so, and you have all your screws on the back that are well located. You use your Phillips one and you open it up. All right, so you removed all your screws. A good trick is to flip it over, and from there you remove it from the top. The reason being that you have a LED strip on the enclosure. So I don't know if you can see it well right here. So all the way around the enclosure you have a LED strip, and this strip is what makes the red light to make sure that it is armed. So if you open it on the other side, the strip will fall down. It's just more work for you to put it back on. So for this device, you need 4 CR123A 3-volt lithium batteries. As you can see, the graphics are on the side, so making it easier for you to understand how to put your batteries. Use your flat screwdriver and you find the plus sign, you remove it like so, change your batteries. There you have it. And all you need to do afterward is put the top back in. So following the holes that are for this on the device here. So you put it back on and then you can flip it over. So using this DoubleDeck, as I mentioned, that you have here to hold everything together, flip it on the side, put your screws and go install that bad boy outside. Next up, we have this bad boy. So we have the big old DualCurtain Protect for outdoor. So as you can see, you just need to slide again for the smart bracket. This is where you have all access to your buttons and your toggles. You close it with the power right here, and 4 screws that you can remove using your Phillips one. So we're gonna go ahead and remove all screws. All right, all the screws are removed, and this one is really easy to unclip. You can pull from the top to the bottom. It is an outside device, so there is some silicone holding it all together, but once you have it, control your strength. I know you're strong, but to make sure it's still in your hands. Also because you have all these clips, making it sure that it stays with the device itself, so you don't want to break those. So it's important to be careful. It is easy, but still make sure you don't break your device. So for these one, you have underneath 2 batteries, so 2 CR123A 3-volt lithium batteries that you need for the DualCurtain Outdoor device. Use your flat screwdriver and we will remove it to see the little graphic that is underneath. So you remove the battery, you have your plus sign, so you know how to put your batteries back inside of them. So like so, there you have it. And a good trick for this one is do it on the side. So you put it on the side to make sure the big ones go inside the holes that you have here. So you align them up, and then the small ones will go right through their holes if you have the big ones lined up. And then you just push it in to make sure the silicone is protecting from any kind of water or dust your device. Put the screws and you have your DualCurtain ready for installation. Now we're looking at the LifeQuality. Make sure you turn off the power on your device, because this is one that the power is always on, because you can use it in your car, you can use it at your work. So it's normal to have it powered on. All you need to do is turn the smart bracket that you have here counterclockwise, so like so. Remove the smart bracket and push the power button to being able to close it. Now we remove this, we will remove the screws. So I'm using the Phillips 0 to remove the screws that we have here. And then to remove the enclosure, this one is really easy. You just turn it around and it falls down. You have the small gap right here, so you can grab it, remove it, and you have access to all the beautiful Ajax technology right there. So for the LifeQuality, you will need, again, 2 CR123A 3-volt lithium batteries. Now, if you're looking for the graphic, this one is underneath the batteries. So change your bit, take your flat one, look for the plus sign, push it, remove it, and look under. So you have the plus sign here, so you know in which direction your battery should go. Now we're gonna put it back on, like so, and we put the enclosure back on the right side. So making sure that it is the correct direction, you just slide it in. Don't force anything, so make sure it's just the right side. The right side, like you see, it slides in perfectly. So if I do this, doesn't work, it's okay. I just changed side, this one works. It means that it's the right one. And all your screws are in your smart bracket, easy to find. You put them back in, and you can put back your LifeQuality where it belongs. So we're also going to show you how to replace the batteries from your FireProtect. So first off, as I mentioned before, you have a smart bracket on the back. So this is the first thing you need to remove. So to do this, you actually have to turn it and remove it from the slot. So you turn it counterclockwise, then remove the smart bracket. You can actually keep it, but I like to remove it because ideally when you replace the batteries, you need to close your device. So you hold this for 3 seconds, you close your device, and then you remove the screws that are on each corner of your FireProtect 2. I'm using this screwdriver. It has a Phillips, so PH00. So now all the screws are ready to be removed. So again, small screws, so put them near you. I will do this, but don't try this at home. All right. And now a good trick is you have your bracket for the smart bracket to hold them down. So rather than try to remove it, you can actually grab one side and pull it. So this way it's easy to remove the back of the device. And now you have access to the batteries. All you need is, I recommend using a flat screwdriver like this one. And what you will do is actually push the battery from the back and remove it like so. So you push it and pull up, and the battery is removed. As you can see, you have a little switch here for the battery to make sure they are holding in place when you place them back. You have a small graphic on the back plate right here, so saying that the positive should be down, the negative up, and here, well, it's vice versa. So the negative down and the positive up. So always look for this signage when you're replacing the battery. It is a nice guidance for you to put them back on. There you have it, guys. We replaced the batteries on all Ajax sensors. If you like this video, please leave a comment below and don't forget to subscribe. We do this for you guys. We do it for us too, because this is something we find very interesting, and we want to help and educate people when they're trying to install new devices. And for that same reason, well, if you would like us to do a battery replacement for the Up 2 Plus, well, why not? We'll do it right away. And not only that, but we received a request to change the PSU from the Up 2 Plus. So this is an upcoming video that will be on the channel. So make sure to subscribe, hit the bell to make sure you have a reminder when this video come up. If you're looking for the tools we use, we'll leave in the description below all the details about those, and also about the batteries that were in each individual product. So if you go on Pipl systems, you will have access to all these lists. You will be able to find all the information needed, and you would be ready to replace your battery for your Ajax systems. Again, thank you guys, and we'll see each other in the next one.